The steering rack has had like 15% play in it. I pulled out the bushings that I had in there. Those are the same part number as this, except that B is an A. B ones, and the only difference is that this section is a little bit wider than this section. You can see it very slightly. But there's someone I know that's running these with no problems, and they're getting a 1-to-1. Everything looks good, so I'm gonna put these in and hopefully they stay. Yeah, here's the part number. So after getting done with the S12 and being able to drive it again and getting more eBay part out stuff done, decided to start working back on the Celica coupe that needs more attention. Got it back in the garage. Started trying to get the intake on. I'm not going to document it as closely as I did with the Celica hatch, but picking at it little by little, you know. And then I forgot to put the little thing behind the cam gear, so when Chris came over, he slapped that on for me real quick and torqued it to spec. Chris has low-key been like carrying me through this whole build. Got the timing all set up, all nice, set correctly. And Chris went ahead and made sure everything that I missed was done, and some of the weird bolts I couldn't get to, he went ahead and made sure those got done correctly. I appreciate that. He talks about this engine like it's a Lego kit compared to the diesels that he works on, so I really appreciate having an actual mechanic help like do the things I can. He put the rebuilt carburetor back on there. He rebuilt it for me, so thank you for that. Got the exhaust EGR back on it. Thank God I kept all these bolts for needing random bolts, being able to replace the bad ones on the exhaust with better suited ones. Always nice to have a bolt bin. Even put the OEM heat shield on with the little felt or like weird fiberglass liner thing, or asbestos, whatever that is. But yeah, it's coming together. It's looking like how it looked before I pulled it out, but cleaner. And we were chasing an ignition issue, and he found some faulty looking connections, so he redid them, put the igniter chip and the coil back in, making sure all the carburetor, vacuum lines, and everything set up correctly. Using a battery, unless we weren't sure about this battery because we couldn't get the starter to turn over, so I got a different battery after a couple of days. Got these hub century wheels space thingies, so that way the next owner can put on Nissan wheels and Toyota 4 lug, and I'm gonna put these on there because they actually have good tires on them, so that's what I have. It's not the greatest looking thing, but you know. And then going over the vacuum lines once again, double checking, triple checking. Had to put an oil filter on it, make sure to lube the gasket, and then when I was putting oil in, I discovered I forgot to put this thing on, the oil pressure sensor, so it like kind of leaked some oil when I was doing that. Got that all tidied away, and then build up the transmission, the MT90, 2.5 quarts, fuel pump, brand new fuel pump, mechanical fuel pump on the 22R. Then I put wheel spaces on it that are fit for a Nissan, so that way the wheels in the back could turn because they were hitting the strut on the inside. New battery, and we got it to turn over pretty lively, but no spark. So once again, chasing the spark, no spark. Found a couple connectors that weren't plugged in, diagnosed a couple other things, tried out some other coils that we had laying around, and still no spark. So after even more diagnosis, kind of came to the conclusion that it's probably the igniter. In the meantime, we drained the gas, put new gas in it, and just make sure the gas was cycled through. And yeah, I got some parts on the way, but in the meantime, in the next video I've been filming stuff. We'll go see the other S12 that I actually still have, thank goodness. Shout out Z. Been driving this thing around, and I even taught my little sister how to drive manual transmission, so good job. Thanks for watching. Do the algorithm things.